I'm trying to save my marriage after finding out that my wife had a 3-month affair with her boss.
Oh, man.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry that happened, man.
Me too.
Have you said that out loud before?
Yeah. I've told a couple close friends.
How'd that go?
It went well. They're supportive. I don't think they fully understand why I want to try to save it.
So I want to start the conversation
supportive.
this way, and then we'll dig into what happened.
Sure.
You can only save your part of it.
I know.
And she might not want to save it. And I think sometimes after somebody cheats on us, we think that it's all our fault, and so we need to do a bunch of stuff differently. Infidelity almost never happens in a vacuum, right? I don't like to use the word fault, but there's usually a world that's created between two people. Not always, but often. So you can, quote unquote, try to work on your part, but I don't want you to think you're a personal failure if this thing doesn't get held together because you don't want to hold it together.
I've been more okay with that lately.
Good.
Awesome. I think I've gotten to the point where I know I'm going to be okay if this ends.
Well, it's okay to not be okay, right?
Well, yeah, that would take time.
There you go. All right, so what happened? Tell me what happened.
Over the past year or so, we've been married about 3 years now. And this last year has been really hard dealing with, my wife has been dealing with a lack of attraction towards me over the last year.
Okay.
She says that I am overwhelming in my desire. She says that I give her too much and that she instinctively pulls back. We've been dealing with that for the last year, and honestly, we got to the point where we were wondering if she was asexual or trying to figure that out. And at work,
asexual what? Does she just lack desire?
She lacked desire. And I was trying everything to reboot it, and nothing was working. And then at work, she felt attraction towards this other man, and she explored it and turned into a 3-month affair.
How long did the emotional affair begin? Because here's what I'm hearing happened. For a year, she told you, I'm not attracted to you. I don't feel this about you. You're overwhelming me. All you want to do is have sex with me. I just want to lay here and cuddle. I just want to go do my own thing. You're bothering me. You're smothering me. And so this whole year, you've been trying to figure out what you were doing wrong. And what she was telling you is she's uncomfortable in her own skin, in her own house, and she's found it elsewhere. She's found that aliveness that starts with a spark, that starts with a, this one's safe because this guy's married, this guy's my boss, and I don't have to go home and actually look in the mirror and deal with me.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to have a conversation. It's fun to be a little extra flirty. It's fun to make little funny notes, because she has access to his calendar and all that kind of stuff that turns into, hey, you want to meet for a drink? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. They were friends for a while at work. And I found out in stages. She lied to me about it pretty severely. Right before Christmas, she told me that she had feelings for him, and she basically told me that it was an emotional affair. And then I found notes that they'd written back and forth that were pretty explicit. And then I found more details, and eventually it all came out. And at this point, I am confident that I know everything, but it was a battle to drag it out. I think that it was genuinely that they were good friends. They were working together really closely, and then right around August of last year, I think she found out that he found her attractive. she felt something and she pursued it. That continued until early November. And then I found out about it around Christmas. And we've been really struggling. We're basically taking our marriage a week at a time right now.
Okay.
She's therapy. She's gone to 2 appointments, has a 3rd appointment today. I just got my insurance back, and I am about to start looking for a good therapist.
Why do you want to save this marriage? Or let me ask you, how can I help?
So both of us love each other a lot. Like there's a lot of love between us. We care about each other deeply, but we're dealing with the lack of attraction on her side. We're dealing with the fact that I want more than she does. We're dealing with the fact that, I don't know, it seems like we want different things, but we both love each other deeply. And I want to save this marriage. I love her more than I've loved anyone else in my life. But I don't know if those differences and things that we are dealing with can be overcome, or if it's worth fighting for. So I need someone to tell me if it's worth fighting for, or if I should try to find happiness elsewhere.
Well, I mean, I think happiness is inside your guts right now.
You help me find it?
Well, I mean, there's so many layers here. You have bought into a story about how she suddenly found you unattractive. You've bought into a story about your marriage is full of love, and you're crazy about each other. You've bought into a story that she was just good buddies with somebody who found her attractive, and she just kind of goofed up. All those stories are creating this context where you're suffocating, and it's tough to hear.
Yeah.
And I again, you and I could talk for 5 hours on this deal, probably for 5 different weeks. In many of the situations when I've had a very similar conversation with somebody, when you dig down to the root of it, you're a good man, and she finds safety in you. And I'm
a really good man.
She has absolutely no idea how to practice or create desire and novelty and romance and eros. And so what she does is she doesn't chase joy. She doesn't chase stability. She chases excitement.
Okay.
Aliveness. And that is a fire that can never, it's all consuming. That's how you end up doing something. And that's like, let's just go read the YouTube headings on this show. That's how you end up in crazy situations when you're always chasing unbounded, and what I'm like, and I'll come back to what that means. Unbounded excitement, aliveness. Seeking aliveness is amazing. It's the same as spending money. Spending money can be fun. Money gives you options. It gives you resources. It gives you access to really cool, shiny things. But just unbounded spending creates huge deficits that ultimately end you. Right? And so it sounds like you are floating in the ocean, and she just keeps saying, I got to swim over here because it's all you. It's all because of you. It's all because of you. And you're such a good man. You keep going back to the mirror saying, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I'm afraid if this marriage ends with what she has told you about you, about how your lack of attractiveness, about your lack of desire, your essence is too much, that part of the reason you want to hang on to this thing so bad is because what she has said about you is so personal.
Yeah.
And what I'll tell you is,
nail on the head.
She has put you in a very unfair position. Because if this thing goes south, your identity is in ash.
Yeah.
Because your wife has said, no, it's absolutely you. It's the way you look. It's the way you are. It's the way you try to love me. Dude, nobody can come back. Nobody can hold that weight. That's too heavy. You get what I'm saying?
So what do I do?
I think you got to call somebody today. And here's the deal. I'm going to hook you up with 3 months with BetterHelp right now, so you can at least talk to somebody today. Okay? And I think you need to see somebody in person in your local area, but I'll get you hooked up today.
Okay.
And if you haven't wept, let me put it this way. The marriage you had is officially 1,000% over. Okay? It's over. There was too much lying.
Enough to know that.
Okay, good. The question is, do you and her want to sit down and make it work? Now, here's what love sounds like. Love looks like your partner gains 20 pounds or 50 pounds, and I still love you deeply, and I'm still attracted to you as a person, and I love you enough to say, I'm worried about your health. Or, hey, don't wear those jeans anymore. Or as my wife told me the other night, I look like a Backstreet Boy because my jeans were real tight. And I tried to blame the jeans. It was not the jeans' fault. It was me. It was me, right? Or love looks like, do people get zits? People get bad haircuts. And people get skin cancer and have to have big chunks of their nose taken. Love looks like those things. And attractiveness for sure matters. Anyone who says it doesn't is lying. But this idea that somebody is going to, I hope you hear what those feelings you have are right. She has blamed your entire essence on the falling out with part of this marriage. And I want you to let that go. She made choices, man. You're a good man. Is that right?
I'm a great man.
Okay. I want you to exhale in that. I want you to go to the mirror when we get off the phone in your bathroom. I want you to close the door. And I want you to put your fist in your chest. I want you to look yourself in the eyes and say the words, I love this man. Okay? I want you to feel it. I want you to drop your shoulders. I want you to say, I love this man. Now, do you have crap you need to work on?
Of course.
Okay. What is it she finds unattractive about you?
I'm a little bit on the messy side.
Okay.
I am extremely empathetic, and that I think causes me to appear unconfident a lot. I also have been through 3 job losses in the last year.
So this is about respect.
I quit a bad job. I got laid off.
She doesn't respect you.
My confidence is, she doesn't respect me.
That's it. And I don't mean that in the traditional macho. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
We got to start there, because you can't stay married. You can't stay connected and love someone who just thinks you're a loser. And maybe the word she's using, I'm not attracted to you, maybe that's the essence she's talking about. And let's get to the bottom of that. But you're a good man. Do you have things to work on? For sure. Can you get less messy? Yes, of course. Jeez Louise. Does it suck getting laid off, quitting a job, and then finding yourself? Yes, it does. Does that make it hard on a household? Yes, it does. But you all need to sit down and decide if we're gonna stay together. And right now, you got some healing to do because you have some scars on your heart. And the woman you want to reconnect with and rebuild with is the one who put them there. I'm sorry, my brother.